If y'all don't know Heather Hooker, you're about to get a treat today. She is probably one of the most heart-led leaders that I know, and she pours into her team. She leads so amazingly, and so you guys are all going to get to experience some of that today. And I won't tell you what her content is just yet, but it's something that when I first heard it and saw her teaching it, I was like, this is brilliant. So she's going to bring it to y'all today when we talk a little bit about Attract. Before we jump right into that, though, let's do some recognition. So kind of just wide open today, recognize someone on your team, and then just kind of include in the comments what you're recognizing them for. Let's get started with that. We'll read some of those off. Anna Justice, Anna and Nate are so awesome. Oh, thanks, Katie. You're the best. Jessica Hoffman for getting her more ticket. That's awesome. Girl, Tiffany Lebon, I feel like I'm going to say that wrong, for always holding you accountable. Tiana for her first reboot. That's amazing. Logan Kinney signed up her first 2 promoters. That's awesome. Congratulations. DJ Johnson for her heart. DJ, you are the best. Like, when I see your face, it just literally lights me up. Like, you have that energy for sure. Taylor Razinka, pushing comfort zone, and I missed it. It's going really fast. Steph Lombardi for how amazing she shows up. She sure does. Christina Fur for helping me go to Keto Academy. We are so awesome for that stuff. Community-based marketing rocks. Carly Novakowski, keeping team accountable to DMOs. That's awesome. Super powerful. Stephanie Arnold for being the sweetest mama, for sure. Stephanie's the best. Carol Peters, crushing weekend. I swear I can read, I promise. All right, sweet. Awesome. Well, you guys are absolutely amazing. We are going to jump right into the content today. So Heather Hooker, when I first met her, we have a very kind of a heartstring that goes right together. Her history and my history are somewhat similar. She was a single mama for a little while, and I think that's where she gets a lot of her grit and a lot of her tenacity. And sorry, I gave my dog a new toy, you guys, right before this, and it's one of the crunchy toys. So I was like, oh, it'll keep her occupied. And so if you hear the crunching, just bear with me because I'm going to mute out here in a second. But Heather has 2 little ones and a husband, and she runs this business full time. She actually brought Scott, her husband, home, and they both work from home, run the business. And she has one of the most successful teams. You guys listen to this. One of the most successful teams in our entire organization. When you talk about popping MVPs and that being the secret to, moving your business forward and duplication, you're going to hear from the queen of duplication today. The way that she teaches things and the way that she breaks things down is a way that people can immediately take and turn into action. So pay attention today, get your pen and paper out, because what she teaches you today and what you get from this call today, you're going to be able to duplicate and put into action, and it will turn into success. So without further ado, Heather, I'm so super pumped for you to teach today. I'm going to mute out and let you pop on.
Okay. I'm super excited. So thanks for having me. Thanks for tuning in. I see a lot of faces with video on. I love that. If you don't have your video turned on, please turn it on. This is a good learning environment to practice looking at yourself on a camera. So who's doing the reboot right now? Right? Okay, see some hands. Who's done the reboot in the past? Okay, because I'm on day number 3 of the reboot, or day number 2, depending on how you want to look at it. So if I have to hop up and run, you guys are going to know exactly where I went, right? Yes. Okay. So I see people laughing, and I told that story for 2 reasons, because it is true, and also because I want to talk about creating a connection through a shared experience. Because if you've ever done the reboot, you knew right away what I was feeling in this moment, right? So you can take your life, all of the years that you lived before you came and joined before you came and joined Pruvit. Got a little choked up there for a second. And you can create those same sort of connections based on what other people have lived through similar experiences. We're all human. We're all going through struggles. And that is the connection that you have to share to attract the people that you have things in common with already. And then you build that connection from there, right? Yes. Okay. All right. So being vulnerable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you about how being vulnerable is such a massive strength in 2019 when we've got these perfect Instagrams and these Pinterest perfect lives, and you log onto Facebook and you see these people who are pretending like their life is going awesome, right? Like their family's awesome, their marriage is awesome, their kids always look adorable. Like it's bull, okay, right? So it is actually really brave to be vulnerable and to share what you've overcome and what you're overcoming and the struggles that you have. And that's the connection piece. That's what's going to attract people to you because you're real. It's easy to stand out when you're being real. Okay. So one way that I do this is something that I call breadcrumbing, and you can do this with our products. You can also do this with our promoter opportunity. And so what I want you to do is, if you have a pencil and a piece of paper, I want you to write down your 5 favorite things about our products. Your 5 best benefits, like the reasons why you get up and you shake your raspberry lemonade, even when you're sick of raspberry lemonade. You're going to drink it anyway, because it helps you A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I want you to write those things down. And then what I want you to do is I want you to be honest about what your life looked like before you had those things in them. This is the brave part, okay? This is where you have to be vulnerable. I shared something last week about how everybody was getting on my nerves this one weekend. And I couldn't realize why, like, the sound of my kid's breath in the backseat was driving me so insane. Okay? Some of you guys are already nodding your heads. Like, you've been there, right? The ones that haven't been there are lying, first of all, or not paying attention. So everybody's getting on my nerves, and I couldn't figure out why. And I realized that I had been experimenting with MCT oil coffee recipes for my breakfast instead of drinking my ketones. And I was like, oh my God, like it's right there on the box. Like it literally says better mood. And here's exhibit 1. And so the next week, that was my breadcrumb for these products is, you know, I wasn't proud of my behavior as a wife and mom because my patience was so short. And if I can drink this one drink that tastes like lemonade and it helps me to have more patience with my family and the people that I love the most, like I don't care how much it costs, right? So in that post that I made, I led with my struggle, okay? I led with my being vulnerable about something that I'm not necessarily super proud of. And then I tied it all back to, that's why I drink these ketones. I didn't post my links. I didn't post a call to action. I didn't say, click here, buy it. But you know what happened? Is I had people immediately message me and say, hey, what's that thing that helped you be in a better mood? Okay. You can do that. If you still got one of the OG chocolate swirls, list out everything right on the side, okay? You can work your way backwards, but you should have 5 things on your own that help you, that you drink it for. So reverse engineer that. Now let's move on to the opportunity. What 5 things do you love the most about being a Pruvit promoter? Is it the messages that you get from people who say, oh my gosh, I can't believe like how much better I feel on this? Is it the fact that you get to talk to grownups? And before you were like stuck on a cartoon binge cycle surrounded by preschoolers. See, you know, is it because it's allowing you to pay for your daughter's braces when you thought that you were going to put that on a credit card? It doesn't matter what it is, but pick your 5 things and then reverse engineer. Again, be honest. Take it back to what your life looked like before and lead with that. This was my struggle. I decided to go out on a limb and start this Pruvit promoter business. And this is what it's done for me and my family. Okay? Don't put your links. You don't have to say, sign up here, $37. Just tell your story and tell it regularly. So I try to do these breadcrumbs. I try to do 2 a week, 1 for a product, 1 for the promoter opportunity. And I'm going to tell you what, people don't even know that you're like feeding them all of this information. And then, you know, whenever they do finally put all the pieces together, they're like, oh crap, like that does sound pretty good. right? So that is that. And then the next thing that I was going to talk about is a little bit tactical. And this is where God's got jokes, because I actually have this on my notes. I was going to give you guys 4 tips to be comfortable on video, because I love video. I love talking. I would rather talk all day long than type anything out or take pictures. But whenever Kendra had first asked me to speak today, I actually thought that I was going to be speaking to like a much smaller group than the Rhino Run. And I found out about 5 minutes before this call that it was actually the Rhino Run and all of these humans. And so I started to have a panic attack. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm ready for this. And I was texting my friend, and she was like, girl, like, get yourself together. And so I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty funny, because if you're not doing things that scare you, then you're not growing, right? Is this scary for me to be speaking to 100 humans that I don't know? Yeah, it is. But like, check my resume. Like, I've overcome all the struggles that have been thrown in my way until now. Like, this is nothing, right? So here's my 4 tips for getting better on video. I think it's super, super important. 2019, if you haven't done a Facebook Live yet, like, you got to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now. You need to do that, okay? You got to. All right, so number 1 is pretend that you are talking to one person. We all have that one person in our life that we know loves us and doesn't judge us and gets all of our jokes, okay? Pretend that you're talking to that one person. Half of the people on this call are gonna think I am crazy. That's fine, you're not my people. The other half are gonna be like, I love her, right? That's who you're talking to, okay? Number 2, gather your thoughts before you push the button, okay? Have something to talk about, something valuable that you can share. We all are good at something. We all have something that we can share, but nobody wants to see you just like walk around, or I don't know. I've seen some really weird Facebook Lives. Like, have something to share and just write down a couple notes so that you're organized. Number 3 is look directly at the camera. So it's easy to look at yourself, especially on these calls. It's easy to start looking around at everybody else. Look directly at the camera, and you're going to be able to make that connection with people easier, okay? On your phone, you're going to have to find where it is. Sometimes it's hidden. And then number 4 is try to make it 2 minutes or less. So people's attention spans are actually only like 25 seconds long. So don't go Facebook Live and think that you've got to talk for 20 minutes, because literally people are listening for 20 seconds and that's it. So I give myself a time limit of 2 minutes, and I try to be finished by then. If it stinks, then I just delete it. If it's good, I just roll with it. Sometimes something hilarious happens, like, you know, one of my kids will walk in or something will fall. And I think that actually makes them even more interesting. So just roll with it. Try to make it super sweet and super short and super sweet. And I think that's pretty much it. I would be willing to open it up for questions. Or Kendra, if you've got something else that you want to.
Here I am. Sorry. I couldn't like off the screen for a second. Okay. Dude, well, first of all, you guys literally those pages of notes. Amazing. And same thing, like, so it's so funny that you didn't know that. I just want to point this out to everybody real quick that you didn't know that. And I kind of thought for a second, like in the text, that you were like a little bit like, oh my God. And I was like, this is literally perfect. You guys, do you know that Katie and I still, before we get on these calls, like I still get that feeling. But like literally now it's the coolest thing, because it's an awareness when I start to feel that and I go, oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my God, I'm scared. And now I go, oh my God, I'm excited. Like I'm excited. This is exciting. So it's really cool. And you're so natural and have so many gifts to share. So I'm so grateful. I'm almost grateful I didn't tell you so that you didn't say no. And then you were here today. So
it was like 12:06 and I was like, oh, that call. Oh.
Oh, I love it so much. Well, you are absolutely amazing. I just want to, Katie says she has a question. So let's open up for a couple questions because we do have time. and then we'll close it out. And so whatever you guys have for questions, you can either pop them in the comments and I'll read them, or I'll unmute. I know Katie sent me the question, so I'll unmute her and I'll mute out.
Yeah.
Hello, Heather.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, you crushed this. You're completely right, Kendra. I think it was best that you didn't know it was for this call. No, it was perfect. But I know that's a question that I get pretty often too, and I'm sure people are thinking it. So like, you do an awesome job breadcrumbing, literally. And I'm positive people are reaching out, or at least like if you see them watching your stories, is there something that you're doing specifically with this population?
Yeah. So what I'll do is, I know that people have to come to decisions in their own time. So what I'll do is, if I see that somebody's watching me or interacting with me, then I will make sure that I go over to their profile and turn notifications on, so that I can just start interacting with them as well. And that sort of helps build this foundation friendship. For me, if I can connect with somebody on something other than Pruvit or ketones, that is a really easy way for them to feel safe to say like, hey, what is this thing that you keep talking about? Number one tip for helping people go MVP. So I think it's really important to be clear on what the requirements are to achieve Go Pro and Go MVP. And I also try to reach out to all of the new people coming into my organization, because somebody who maybe started last month, who just signed up a rock star, doesn't have their headspace in their MVP period. So I can sort of umbrella that for people and make sure that they know like what their date is, what they need, what the BV is for certain items, how to share their story. So I'm sort of like the MVP cheerleader for my entire team. And I remind them, like I will go through every week and I'll remind them, I'll be like, hey, like your last day to hit Go Pro is Thursday, and you only need 200 more volume. So like, do you need a coupon? Do I need to send you something so that you can offer your 10-day people? Or, do you have somebody who's about to order? So that's what I do. I think you can breadcrumb everywhere. Because of the way that the algorithms work, I don't think that there is such a thing as like oversharing, especially because breadcrumbs are more like a journal entry. Like I'm not sharing flyers, you know what I mean? I'm not sharing like in your face, here's my link. So I think you can share those. I mean, I don't know, maybe my whole feed is a breadcrumb. I don't know. Yep. Sharing your heart. Yeah, for sure. I mean, being vulnerable is hard, you guys. Like it's hard. Like I don't like talking about when I was a single mom. It was like the worst period of my entire life. But like, do you know the people who are attracted to me, whether I talk about it or not, are single moms, right? Or people who have been single moms. Like it's just your struggles that you've been through were there for a reason. And if you can flip that script from being a victim to being a victor and turning that mess into your message, like that is really, really, I'm trying not to drop an F-bomb, powerful. Yes. Yes. Grit, for sure. For sure. I think that's it. So.
Right. So my internet is like spotty. I just made you a co-host just in case it kicks me off again. It's like kicking me out, and you sounded like you were underwater for me, but not to everybody else. Oh, no. So hopefully I sound okay, because it's storming here, so I don't know if that's what's going on or what. But so I just wanted to like roll through. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, everyone keeps freezing. I'm like, I don't know if no one's moving or if we're freezing or what's actually happening here. So I just want to like just go through just really quickly what Heather talked about, just in case you guys missed it in the notes. So I just want to like just reframe it here for you. So, and a couple of the key quotes that stood out for me. First of all, the one that I'm not even looking at my paper and write down with, but like, check my resume. I want you guys like that. I'm telling you, like that gave me actual body chills. So the next time you feel like you're doing something that you're not qualified to do, check your own damn resume, right? What have you been through? Exactly. Like, what have you been through? What have you made it through? I got goosebumps too, dude. I could literally cry thinking about it. Like, I felt you say that, right? Like, I felt that in my heart. Like, you did, dude. You said it like this. You said it like I felt like this, but like, check my resume. Like, it's, yes, Beyonce certainty. Like, if you guys haven't heard Be You Ever say this, like, it resonates in my head all the time. Like, people aren't literally, they're not listening. They're hearing what you're saying, but what they're really hearing is your certainty in what you're saying. We could all say the same thing and have 99 different results because our belief in what we're saying, like, you guys felt her belief. You felt her belief when she said that, right? So like, I want to just point that out to you guys that like, no matter what you're doing, how qualified or unqualified you feel, like, check your own resume and understand that you've been through some stuff. Like, this is nothing, right? Sharing something that you love and building a business is nothing compared to the stuff that you've been through in your life, right? So be vulnerable, overcome what you're overcoming, share that. It's easy to stand out when you're real. She said that it's easy to stand out when you're real. It's true. Like, that's the stuff that people want to hear. They don't want to see all the good stuff all the time, right? They want you to be real and you're going to stand out. She talks about breadcrumbing. Guys, I don't know if you got this. No links. You don't always have to post a call to action. Listen, I'm telling you right now, those long gone are the days. Junie, she's heard somebody else's dog bark. I think it was your dog. Did your dog just bark? Yeah. June's like, who's that? I'll get him. I know. Literally, I don't know where I just was. Oh, no links, no calls to action. You don't have to share a heartfelt story. The best way to screw up a heartfelt story is to go exactly like she said. Now check my link at the bottom and come do that. Like, don't do that, right? Just tell your story without asking for something, ask for something in return. I love the 5 things, guys. This is huge. 5 things that you love about being a promoter and 5 things you love about the product. 2 a week. Are you kidding me? You have breadcrumbing contents for the next, I'm not good at math, but what's that, like 10 weeks or something? I don't know, whatever, 2 times 5. You know what I'm saying? You have literally a ton of content right there just from those 2 things. Tell your story and tell it regularly. Did you hear her say that? Tell your story and tell it regularly. Like, go live. I was literally sitting here, I'm like, when's the last time I told my story? I don't know. Go live and tell your story. And then the tips for getting better on video. This call was absolute gold. And you guys, you should seriously give yourself a massive, I don't want to say a pat on the back because that's cheesy and weird, but like, give yourself some serious credit for showing up today. And Heather, we want to just thank you for showing up today and being brave and being vulnerable and sharing that too, because I guarantee there were 99 other people on this call going, oh yeah, I can totally relate to that. And like, I can't tell you the amount of value that you brought today. So let's all just show Heather some love in the comments here. And that is going to be a wrap for today. You all are absolutely incredible. Heather, thank you again so much. You guys have a blessed Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yes. Have a blessed and awesome Tuesday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.